I see you shiver with anticipation.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
What's good, everybody? It's the Big Alboski. It's Heel Turn Harry. It's Cousin Phil. What's up, cuz?
What's up?
Oh, it's good to see you. So good to see you. Always good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
It's been a week. All right, so conspicuous by their absences, of course, is AJ and Adrian. But we have to. I'd be remiss if I didn't give a special shout out to Adrian and his family. Our prayers are with him. I hope everything goes well, and I hope everything and I hope he's back with us really soon. But yeah, big shout outs. We love you, Adrian. We'll see you. We'll see you soon. I guarantee it. Other than that, I'm not going to give any special shout out to Anthony. So
he's running. He's just, you know what it is? He's watching his Yankees. That's what it is.
Well, he's watching his Yankees tonight. He's watching them lose because Aaron Nola's back, and we got Yankees, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Let's start with, you know what? I want your guys' opinions on this. Have you guys heard that the Olympics might be canceled?
Well, they're not going to be canceled.
So what?
They're not going to get canceled.
Well, you don't know that yet.
Well, no, they had somebody from the Olympic board or whatever, not the IOC, but someone said that basically what they want people in Tokyo to do, since there's such a concern, is basically they're trying to use the Olympics and what the torches and all that crap to lift the spirits and fill the void that is left during this terrible time. When in reality, they can't cancel them, because how do you cancel something 10 years in the making that's built a week before or 4 days before? They lose too much money.
And on top of all that, these Olympics were supposed to take place in 2020.
Yeah.
And they're being held, because of COVID, they're being held this year. You cancel them again, they're not having them in 2022, because then you got a whole nother Olympics going on. You know what I mean?
But at what point do you weigh that with the safety of people? Because this is not like a football game in Kansas City.
Right.
These are people from all across the world.
Absolutely. And yeah, safety first, safety first, safety first. I get it. But man, it's a tight situation. And what's that guy's name? Moto? The CEO, the commissioner, the guy who's in charge.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he's in charge of this year's Tokyo Olympics. He came out and he made a statement basically saying, as of now, they are on. But I reserve the right to cancel them even at the 11th hour.
You can't cancel them.
That was his exact words.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way.
And I didn't know too much about the Olympics, but isn't there a committee? Like, it's not one guy's decision, right?
No, it's the IOC. It's the International Olympic Committee.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, basically what they do is they make all the rules. It's like the board that governs the whole thing. I mean, listen, I hate to say this, but if I was an Olympic athlete, I don't know if I would go. I honestly don't. I know this is what you train for and all that
Some
crap.
guys have opted. Some people have opted out, right?
But you're talking about the serious strains of this virus that even if you're vaccinated can affect you. I don't know.
Chris said they should be moved. They should have moved the site. Last year, too many people would pop for COVID. It will ruin the Olympics.
Well, I mean, I'd like to say the Olympics is not ruined, but it's damaged.
I hope they get it in. I hope and pray they just get it in somehow. I know that they already took the fans out of the equation, so you don't have to worry about that. Just worry about the athletes. Worry about keeping the athletes healthy and give us some kind of Olympics. If you can't do everything, do as much of it as you can, because these athletes train for 4 years and now 5 years, and now they're ready. and if they can't compete, that's a tragedy in my book. And I'm not even that big a fan of the Olympics.
Well, let me ask you this: what if Simone Biles or someone that's huge ends up getting COVID?
What are you going to do?
I mean, that's
You
like
cancel the whole damn thing because of one person?
No, but I'm not saying specifically her. But what if some huge star ends up getting this?
Is that any different
right
than
there,
like any huge star in MLB or NFL getting COVID? Like, what's the difference?
You only get this every 4 years. You get football, basketball, and stuff all the time.
Jason said, and then they installed anti-sex cardboard beds because all the teenage kids are. Yeah, I heard this too. The cardboard bed. Because do you really think they're not going to have sex on cardboard? I think they will if they want to have sex. Just saying.
And once your event's over, you have to leave. You can't stay.
Well, there's going to be some camaraderie. You know, these athletes.
There's some Olympic babies coming. There is.
I'm just saying. Oh, we lost Phil. I don't know why. Big Nick checking in. How you guys feeling? I'm feeling okay. How are you? I'm having internet issues. Is everybody else?
No, I'm good.
I mean, I keep cutting in and out, and I'm actually linked directly into, like, I'm not using the Wi-Fi. I'm linked directly into the thing. Cuz, you got anything on the Olympics or no? We could switch topics. He's frozen.
The man is frozen.
He does this to me a lot. He leaves and he comes back.
Nah, man, my reception was shitty, man. You guys kept freezing on me.
Well, it might be me. Your thoughts on the Olympics before we switch topics?
I think it's going to happen. They were still monitoring it. Whether people get COVID or not, I mean, it's going to happen. Somebody's going to come out of this COVID positive. Somebody.
Oh, many people have already.
I mean, it's happening in baseball, right?
And you think about it, like you talk about the Olympics. We're just talking about the main Olympics that are happening in 4 or 5 days. But then you got the paraplegic ones that are happening right at the end of that in Tokyo as well, which has 38 events, as the Olympics has 43. So
right.
I mean, it's like, and Japan's already in a state of emergency. They declared state of emergency with COVID.
Right, because they're having trouble with the Delta strand.
Well, because most of that country is not vaccinated.
Well, they didn't get it until they were one of the last ones to get it. I think they just started like February.
Right.
You know, he figures the country, Japan in general will out of this started. That area starts it.
Well, it started in China. I'm not throwing Japan on. I'm not throwing Japan under
China, Japan, it's all the same.
Wow. How Anthony Joseph of you. All right, so that segues into a lot of MLB players are refusing to be vaccinated. I want you guys' thoughts on that.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it? Why?
I mean, it's everybody's right whether they want to be vaccinated or not. Like,
right.
I mean, I know this is a little bit serious. It's like the flu on steroids, and
and you've had it.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird because I hear a lot of people talk about like really downplaying or talking down or whatever you want to call it, bashing people that chose not to vaccinate. But for years, we had these anti-vaccinators, and nobody really gave them grief. Now, like measles, mumps, polio, you know what I mean?
We get those shots when we're kids, man.
Yeah, well, a lot of them now, now lately you see them, people don't give their kids these shots, but you don't talk about them being around other kids with the measles and the mumps and all that. And now we're talking about, like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, if I'm going to vaccinate, I'm going to get vaccinated. That's my choice. But whether you or her, Henry want, like, whatever. Sorry.
Player's choice until it's mandatory.
That's your decision.
Here's the thing about the word mandatory. Some businesses across the world are making it mandatory, especially if they work in an environment where they are put in harm's way on a daily basis. I can tell you that my job does not make it mandatory. It's not mandatory, even though I am in harm's way on a daily basis. For professional athletes, what they're trying to do is encourage them to have at least 85% of the players have been vaccinated. There are 9 teams only 9 out of the 30 that have 80% or more.
Yeah, and one of them had 87, 88%, and they got hit with what, like six, 7 cases.
And they got
Yankees?
7 cases anyway, right? So that's what I'm saying.
It's my job. Like my job doesn't they recommend you get it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the stipulation they put in now: if you're not vaccinated and you come in close contact or get it, you don't get paid.
Right.
You still
and that's
have to
what
take the
happened
10
with us
days.
too.
You don't get paid. Now, if you are vaccinated and you happen to catch it, you get paid. If you happen to be in close contact with someone, you don't have to take the 10 days off.
Same thing with us. A year ago, when this thing first broke out, we were getting completely fully paid 10 days off if we got it. If we tested positive for it before they had a vaccination, we would get 10 days off. They've thrown that, now that there's a vaccination, they've thrown that out, and they did exactly what you just said.
Ours start August 1st.
If I get it and I'm vaccinated, I get paid. But if I get it and I'm not vaccinated, that's my problem.
Yep.
Not mandatory here, and I'm in the hospitality business. Interact with hundreds of people a day. See that? I mean, and I think it goes state to state too. I mean, I think that things are still different in states as well, let alone businesses. Harry, it's not mandatory for you, right?
No, but I mean, I do it, and I'm vaccinated. I still wear a mask, and I'll get customers daily that, I'm vaccinated. Don't worry about it. You don't have to wear a mask. I'm like, that's fantastic. I don't believe you. I'm gonna wear it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there's still people wearing masks. I'm out there, and there's still people wearing masks, and I don't look at them differently because they wear their masks. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not vaccinated either.
Only ones that wear the mask in a car alone.
The issue is, though, they're talking a lot about it. They're talking a lot about it on the radio and whatnot, and on ESPN and whatnot, because there are actual players that don't have any they won't give a reason. They just said it's a personal choice. And the issue is that what if you're a playoff contending team and it's your personal choice not to get it, and you get it and there's an outbreak, so then you lose like 4 of your major players in October when it matters. That's where MLB is worried. That's where MLB is worried about it.
That should be up to the owners of each team.
Here's the problem. This is the hugest problem. This is why it's never going to happen. They have the strongest union in all of sports, and that union is not going to make it not going to have it mandatory. It's not. They're going to say no.
Same with the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the NFL can get away with it, but you cannot beat the baseball union. It's like, the strongest thing ever created.
I mean, the NFL had a whole season, during the pandemic. They're the only sports that had a 2020 season.
And you know what? You can make these games up with baseball. You can't make up football games. That can't happen.
And then they extended the season.
Then that's 4 players that decided not to do it, right?
I mean, you got to fit it in. Like a Sunday becomes a Tuesday at 2, But
they did it. Wasn't there an outbreak?
They did last year.
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't there an outbreak with the Steelers, and the Steelers had to make up a game
like a Tuesday, and then
They figured it out, but they got it done, and we had a season, and we had a Super Bowl, and it happened. So
they canceled their bye week and made the bye week the day they. You know what I mean?
You know what? If you're not at 80%, you know what you have to do? You have to social distance. Your manager has to wear a mask, and players in the dugout have to wear a mask. That is. You
think it's up to the team leaders and managers and coaches to kind of influence these guys to maybe it's not such a bad thing to get vaccinated?
They have speakers. They have seminars. They do everything they can to promote this. But I mean, listen, like Phil says, it's people's right. If people choose not to do it, who are you to tell somebody you have to do this?
Right. It's kind of like the thing is, we get vaccinated. Why do we get vaccinated when we're babies, when we're kids?
Because our parents made us.
Right. But I'm just saying it, people still, kids still get, my daughter got the tetanus booster shots, when she was little, and it just they still do it.
Yeah.
See, this is my thing with the vaccination, and it's just come up recently. Like we had this discussion the other day in the chat. We're talking about when they first came out, it said, "Oh, it's a 2-series shot from Johnson & Johnson," and somebody else came out with a 1-series shot. That's all you need. That's all you need. And now they just recently, in the last couple of months, say, "Well, no, you need a booster every year, like the flu shot." I don't know. Like, it's everybody. I don't want to force nobody to do it. Like, I have that choice. If you're not vaccinated, well, I'm not coming to your house for a barbecue. You know what I mean? That's my choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whether people do or don't, I mean, it's if you're worried about the playoffs, that should be up to the owners.
With reactions from shots, people are suspicious now. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's the whole thing.
But that's the thing. Those reactions from shots are like so minimal. It takes like a small percentage of people for that to happen, for the entire world to be like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't do this now.
Well, so you need to do. You schedule your shot, and you schedule 2 days off of work after you get your shot, and there you go. I mean, listen, I got my shot. I got it just because I deal with people. I want to not have to take that risk. But at the same time, if you were to say to me, I don't want to get the shot, I say, okay, then you don't get the shot.
If you're an owner, think about, and I know this is not on the same playing level, but think about the Dallas Cowboys, when Jerry Jones says, if you kneel, you're not playing. To become a Yankee, you have to have no beard and, cut your hair. These are stipulations like, somebody's going to come out and say, hey, listen, man, we're going to make the playoffs. You all need to get shot so we don't screw up. You know what I mean? But it's still unknown whether you can get it or can't get it. I've heard so many stories.
You don't get, it's not serious. It's
right.
Basically cold at that point, But, Apple made it mandatory for you to come to work and get, if you're vaccinated. You cannot come to work if you're not vaccinated. Yeah. People have quit their job because they don't want to get vaccinated at Apple.
Man, the money they pay me, I make really good money. If they told me it's mandatory, I lose my job, I'm getting vaccinated. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's $34 an hour that I would lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting vaccinated. Like, that's my family livelihood.
You can shoot me in both arms. I don't care. Just give me both shots at once. Just
Like, come on, man, bring it on, man. Give it to me every 6 months.
Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to give up my livelihood because I don't want to take a shot. I had no reaction. My parents had no reaction. I have a couple of people that, their wives were gone for 2 days. They couldn't function. And then I've had people that, nothing. It's,
The only thing I've seen is people that just couldn't lift their arms.
Yeah, it's...
I heard the second shot knocks you down for a day or two, and then you're back. You're fine. For most people,
I got the Johnson & Johnson because I didn't feel like taking up another day of work.
All right, so heel turn. You brought this up in our little sports chat there that Aaron Rodgers turned down a 2-year extension with the Packers, which means a lot of things. And I'm glad that AJ's not here to shit all over it because he hates Aaron Rodgers. But for those of us who respect Aaron Rodgers for who he is, what does this mean for the future of Aaron Rodgers?
Well, this is the whole thing. This past offseason, they went to Aaron Rodgers. They were going to give him a 2-year extension. So basically what was going to happen was he was going to be with the Packers for 5 more years. He was going to be the highest paid player in the NFL. But what it really probably honestly was we're going to give you a shit ton of money in the first 2 years. And then after those 2 years, we're going to cut you and you're going to have nothing. But we're going to look like we're the greatest. But what I don't think they realize and what is going to be Aaron Rodgers' decision, he doesn't want to be there.
Right.
And you know what?
That's apparent.
Honestly, you know what? I don't know if I blame him.
I don't either.
I mean, yeah, you know what? They gave him some stuff here and there, but years ago, before they got Aaron Jones, before they got this defense, he was making guys look really good.
Right.
And his defense and his running game was terrible.
And would let him down.
And they don't draft offensive players. He's making these guys look great.
Here's the other side of that argument. The guy wins. Remember when the guy won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And then after that, I think for the next 2 or 3 seasons, each individual season, he was hurt at one point or another.
Right.
Then he would come back. Then he'd be hurt. Then he'd come back again and look like gold for the regular season. Then he gets to the playoffs. The guy's lost how many? I mean, he's 0 for what? He's 0 for 4 or 1 and 4 in NFC Championship games in his career.
Are you blaming last year on him though?
And you can say, oh well, he didn't have help, or you can say this, that, or the other thing. But the proof is in the pudding. The guy's been in. If he's good enough to get to the NFC Championship every fucking year almost. I mean, as soon as they come out with the ratings and this, that, and the other thing, and they start talking about the Packers, they don't talk about the Lions every year. They say they suck. They don't talk about the Bears. They don't talk about the Vikings. They talk about the damn Packers. And they
suck.
And the NFC North goes through Green Bay every damn year since Aaron Rodgers has been in the league. Now you have Aaron Rodgers, not wanting to be in Green Bay. That's fine. I don't have no problem with that. I'm sure Packers fans might, but I don't. And the haters out there like Anthony might have a problem with that, but I don't. Here's my problem. My problem is that the guy chokes historically.
Stop it.
Historically. Come on, Harry. He is 5 times in the NFC Championship game, and he has only won once.
Are you calling Peyton Manning?
If he was so damn good.
Is Peyton Manning a choker?
Huh?
Is Peyton Manning a choker?
I said chokes.
I know. Did Peyton Manning choke?
Why? Because Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowls?
I'm asking you a question because I remember a lot of times he couldn't get anywhere in the playoffs. But he had great regular seasons, and he would get there and couldn't get to the big one.
Yeah, and he's a Hall of Famer, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Hall of Famer too.
But let me ask you this.
I'm just saying, to me, I could care less where Aaron Rodgers goes because wherever he goes, it doesn't automatically make that team a contender. That's my point.
So let me ask you, the Packers as an organization, overall, you had Brett Favre, you have Aaron Rodgers. Between the two of them, you have 2 Super Bowls.
Unless he goes to a contender, he's done. He's not helping rebuild a team, but most playoff teams have their futures quarterbacks, right? Like I said, if he goes to someplace, hi, Mrs. McDevitt. If he goes to someplace like like Denver or something, they're not a quarterback away.
They're pretty close.
I don't think so. Did Jim Kelly choke with 4 straight Super Bowl losses? Yes.
No.
Yes, he did.
They just played great teams.
Are you sipping that AJ stuff? Is that what you're doing right now? You need to stop it.
That's a different animal altogether. The whole Jim Kelly thing. The Buffalo Bills.
How is that an animal?
Because those were different teams that he went up against.
Aaron Rodgers.
Different time.
Taken his team.
Aaron Rodgers lives in the world where their quarterbacks are protected more. Just saying.
Aaron Rodgers.
Man, we talk about. Go ahead, Aaron.
No, Aaron Rodgers is took teams that was pretty goddamn average.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, Alan. You name somebody else at the wide receiver position besides Davante Adams right now.
Come on, Al. You're calling a 2-time NFL MVP a choker. Dude, you can be an MVP in this league, but not in the big one. It happens all the time.
But he's not the reason they lose, though, Alan. That's the thing.
Well, he's not the reason why they won.
Yeah, you know why they didn't win last year? Because they freaking decided to kick a damn field goal. If Aaron Rodgers had that ball against Tampa Bay, he's winning.
People talk about him like he's a god, man.
Because he's a god.
Listen, it's one thing to talk about Brady like that, but then the knock on Brady is, oh, well, half those titles, they cheated to win, blah, 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 blah. The dude wins.
So did Aaron
in the clutch,
Rodgers.
when it matters.
If Aaron Rodgers you put Bill Belichick on the Packers, Aaron Rodgers has just as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady.
You're wrong. You're so wrong. Why are you wrong? Because Brady goes to Tampa without Belichick. He's got Bruce Arians, and he still wins the Super Bowl.
Sorry, did you
Where the hell is Belichick now?
Did you miss the
Patriots didn't even make the playoffs.
AJ, stop it, AJ. All right, stop it.
It's the truth.
Here's a stat I just pulled up. So the most losses in their own conference championship, okay, Aaron Rodgers is tied with some really actually great fucking names. Steve Young. Lost 4 of them. Tom Brady, but we know Tom Brady's been there like 18 freaking times.
Right.
Then we got, I don't even want to mention this other name.
You mean McNabb?
Yeah. And Kenny Stabler.
You can say it. You can say it. McNabb's on that list. Choke artist.
That's the only
You know who's on the list that surprises me is Detmer.
Who's that?
Fucking Detmer.
Detmer lost championship games?
Yeah. Coy Detmer.
Coy Detmer. What a name.
Who won't be on that list, by the way?
Who?
The New York Giants quarterback right now. He won't be on that list.
Danny Dimes. It's hard. It's hard to win in the playoffs. Brady did not win all his Super Bowls by himself. I didn't say I'm not saying that. I'm never saying that. I'm saying it wasn't all Belichick. Belichick's not this magician where you stick him over on a shitty team, he's going to make him good.
Alan, do you know how much talent is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Like, have you seen that roster?
You have to coach it.
Listen, I could throw to the receiving core and tight ends. I could have that defense and win some games.
Well, you're right. He's saying Brady has too many weapons in Tampa. When you're as old as Brady is, he needs a little bit extra. Come on. He's got to get a little extra talent around him to help him out.
So wait, so he's great until you realize that, oh my God, I have so many weapons. Now he's just, I'm old.
I'll tell you this. Is he going back? Is he going to go? Is he going to be there again?
No.
Are they going to be favored automatically?
No. I mean, they're favored, yeah, but no, I don't think so.
Is he going to be in the NFC Championship game?
No.
Who?
Brady.
I don't think so.
With Tampa?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
I think they lose in the divisional round.
Right there it is. Okay.
You got to watch out. I'm telling you, watch out for the Rams. Even though they just lost their running back, you got to watch out for the Rams.
Todd Gurley's coming back.
The thing about the Rams is I want to see I want to see Stafford. I want to see Stafford on another team, another coach, another scheme, better offensive line. I want to see Stafford.
He's good.
He is good. And he's just been on a shitty team for so long, and he's been beat the shit out of him. He's like one of the most sacked guys in the league.
He's never had running back help, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I want to see what Stafford has with a line and a running back.
Can you think about this? You had Calvin Johnson to throw the damn ball to, and you still sucked.
He didn't suck though. He was always the team sucked. Yeah. But I mean, last Stafford season was always statistically pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, last season, he lost Galladay. He didn't really have a running game. And that's the coach's fault because they got an actually really good running back in there.
I just love that we're talking football. We're only a week away from training camp.
They didn't use him, and it's stupid.
Adrian, yeah, I mean, you know what the problem with Detroit honestly is? They have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
No,
like they have
the ownership. The ownership doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. The GM don't know what they're doing.
Them in Houston, I swear to God, them in the Houston Texans, they get together and they're like, you know what? You hold my beer. No,
let's suck. Do you suck? No, hold my beer.
Their teams up.
That one in Houston, I blame on that stupid coach.
So Zack Ertz, because near and dear to our hearts, was a great tight end and had a difficult season last year. At the end of the season, basically comes out and he's crying and he's saying that he pretty much thinks he's played his last game in Philadelphia. So then you think that Philadelphia is going to trade him, right? He's still on the team.
Yeah.
And not only is he still on the team, but everybody thinks, well, Philly's just holding out for the best offer. Nobody's making offers for him.
No, will they?
They won't.
No.
So my point is, the only possible way that Philly lets him go is because he's got one more year on his contract. So only reason why I think Philly lets him go is if, say, some team like during training camp or preseason loses one of the tight ends and they need a tight end like right away. That's the only scenario I could see the Eagles losing him. My point is, do you hold on to him? What do you do with Zack Ertz, Phil?
I think it's too late now without taking a cap hit. And we look at it, man. The reason they're talking about
he's owed
Zack
$8
Ertz
million.
It's money. It has to do with money. It's a business. They got a really good tight end in Dallas, Goddard, who can step up and replace him. But if we didn't have Dallas, I don't see Zack going anywhere. You know what I mean?
With Hurts, Philly is a run-first team. Yeah, right.
Until Hurts
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I think Sirianni's gonna run the ball a lot. I think they're gonna mix up between Sanders and.
That's what they did in Indianapolis. I mean,
right. And I think
his running backs ran. Like, if you look at Miles Sanders' stats, when he touches the ball 20 times, every time he's at over 100 yards.
Yeah.
172 was his best.
But Peterson played a Andy Reid offense. Where he pass the ball
a lot more. Jonathan Taylor, a couple other running backs up there had 20-plus touches, and it's a running team. And they had Phillip Rivers, who can sling it still at 40.
That's the thing. And then now they have Wentz. And the thing of the matter is they're not going to ask Wentz to win games for you. They're going to ask Wentz not to lose.
No, we ain't talking about Wentz. We're talking about Ertz in Philadelphia.
You mentioned the Colts, so I threw that in there.
The coach.
And so Sirianni is a running. He's a wide receivers coach, so he does like to pass the ball. But his offense, if it's anything like Frank Reich's, is more run oriented than say Doug Peterson or Andy Reid.
And Ertz is a blocking tight end too. So I'd keep him.
I'd keep him, but I don't know if he doesn't want to stay. Like, what do?
You cut him. You do what's right, and you cut him.
Yeah, but the Eagles never do what's right.
No.
Well, so they put out a list of the 32 teams, right? Rank them after position players.
Yeah.
So excludes quarterback and offensive line. So it's basically just all that. And your Eagles, let's just say, are not high.
Oh, I know that. But these rankings are bullshit. They're based on nothing. You can't judge Jalen Hurts when he hasn't really even played in this league yet.
All right. So ask yourself 3 questions, right? The system you want to run, can you run 2 tight ends? Okay.
I don't know. Who's the second tight end if you don't have Zack Ertz? You have Dallas Goedert. Who's the second guy?
No, I'm saying why you would keep Ertz. If you want to run 2 tight ends, you keep Ertz.
Because you need a second. Right.
Okay. If you're going to run the ball, all right, you would keep Zack Ertz. And then you have to ask yourself, how much do you really think he can contribute outside of blocking?
If he wants a contract somewhere else, I think he should play.
And if he says, listen, I have some gas in this tank, I want to play, can you let me go? Would you let him go?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is start a season, training camps in a week. Are they going to demand he shows up?
No, I think he should just say, you know what? He should go to them and say, listen, before training camp, before anything happens, give you plenty of time to do something. I want to play. I want to be a factor someplace.
Yeah.
Can you let me go? So,
there's 2 teams that have been coming out in the last month One is the Buffalo Bills because they have the cap space. The other
Right.
one is Miami because
Miami. I heard the Dolphins.
Because that quarterback don't want to be there.
I heard the Dolphins want him, but
Kyle Rudolph, who probably has as much in the tank as Ertz, got a team.
Right. Dolphins wants the Dolphins want him for a 6th round pick.
Oh, I no.
No, I heard I was some cornerback that doesn't even want to be in Miami no more, an all-pro cornerback, which would cost us a little bit more.
Right. The Eagles were looking at that guy from Washington. I forget his name. From the Washington team.
Well,
I don't want to say Redskins.
The tight end?
The Washington.
No. The corner. When he mentioned corner, the Eagles were talking.
Norman?
Huh?
Josh Norman?
No.
No.
If Ertz was that good, someone would have traded for him. That's my point. My point is, if nobody else wants him, why not talk him into staying?
Because
at least this season, he'd be a great security blanket for a brand new quarterback.
Here's the thing. I mean, you're talking trading for a quarterback, a tight end, or signing a tight end. Those are two different things.
No. I'm saying the whole point of this is, should the Eagles keep him or let him go for whatever they could possibly get? Because that's what it seems like they're doing.
No, I get what you're saying, but to Chris's thing about if he was that good, someone would have traded for him. That's a totally different thing. Like, no, you're not as good for a 6th round pick, but if you were to become available, I'd sign you because you're still good.
And it's not
something for him.
It's not that he's not that good. Like, and people keep thinking about the players. Is he worth the money? Is he worth the $8.7 million? You know what I mean? You think about Buffalo only has 9.6. Do they want to waste almost 90% of that cap?
See,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Zach thinks that the Eagles did him dirty by not giving him that big contract that he wanted because he thought he was like at least the 3rd best tight end in the league. And I don't think he was at one point, but he's not that guy no more.
How do we know? He's the inconsistency.
What I mean, right? What I'm saying is,
last year,
he's got no. What I'm saying is, right now, teams are looking at him based on what he did last year, not what he did in 17, 18, 19.
And how much value is in the tight end position? Honestly, if you're not Travis Kelce, you're not George Kittle, you're not Waller, and like. These are different. Zach Ertz is not those tight ends.
Right, but he thinks he is. But, I mean, the tight end
position.
By the way, Harry, it's Travis Kelce. Did you hear him?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He was on a show or podcast or something. And somebody called him Travis Kelce, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, it's Kels, but everybody's been saying Kelsey that me and my brother don't say a word. It's just whatever."
Make your money and shut up. Who cares?
It's spelled Kelce. It's Kels.
Well, you can call me whatever you want. You know, if you mispronounce people's names and no one says anything,
they're still going to say Travis Kelce.
Unless you're Jason Witten on Monday Night Football.
Oh God.
Guy has stats. He wants a big contract. Nobody's going to take on now for a tight end. You're absolutely right.
It's like fantasy football.
That's why the Eagles should keep him
right before the kicker.
I think the Eagles should keep him. I really do. But that's me.
I think the Eagles have bigger problems than worrying about Zach Ertz.
Such as
is Jalen Hurts your guy? Is more.
Well, you got a whole season to figure that out.
I mean,
that's what this season's for.
No, I mean, there's if you're gonna.
What's the leash on Hurts? What's the leash on Hurts? Cuz I'm gonna ask you both that question. What's the leash? 4 games? 5?
It's a couple games with Flacco back there. I'd give him a couple games.
My point is that if they go 0-3, 0-4, 0-5 at Jalen Hurts, do you switch?
To who? Who's your backup? I don't even know.
They have Joe Flacco.
Oh no! Stop it! Stop it!
Say it. They got Nick Mullins too.
Nick Mullins, maybe.
Okay.
Joe Flacco.
Suns versus Bucks, Game 6 tonight. Who do you got?
I can't believe you just said that, Joe Flacco. Stop it.
He's the backup. You know how backup quarterbacks do in Philadelphia?
Joe Flacco.
We had a backup quarterback win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he sucks. He's terrible.
That's more than
Terrible.
he did more than Prescott.
Wow.
Who do you got tonight?
Wow.
Suns and Bucks.
We're really doing that. Okay.
I got the Bucks tonight.
Cowboys?
It's over. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I hope you get. You know what? I hope Joe Flacco.
Suns tie it, and Chris Paul goes off. Thanks for answering my question, Chris, because they're not.
Because you're a jerk.
Listen, I like the Bucks, but the Suns are going to win Game 6 because
there's going to be a Game 7. There's going to be a Game 7. Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's going to be a Game 7.
I'd say Bucks by 20.
Bucks are winning the title tonight.
By 20. Not even close.
Wow. Giannis has what, 40?
I'll say it's not Giannis. I'm going to say it's Middleton. I think can we honestly have a discussion about Chris Paul? Like, there's something wrong with Chris Paul. I don't know if he's old, but there's something.
I don't know, Chris. That's my point. Jalen Hurts. I want to know what kind of leash Jalen Hurts is because the Eagles have not. I don't think the Eagles have any faith that he's the guy. But I guess we're gonna. I guess we're gonna find out.
How about you call, get Nick Foles, and you'll be just fine. Apparently, right? You'll be fine.
Oh, he's thinking that Cowboys.
Nick Foles is not a starter. He's a backup.
Oh no! Apparently, he's the greatest thing since Joe.
He's
Davis.
the greatest backup in the history of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's a god in Philadelphia. The guy never has to pay for a drink again.
He's up there with yeah.
You know what? I can't. I just can't. I'm not even going to.
My answer to this question is I'm with Phil on this one. The Suns tie it up. We're going to Game 7.
Does Nick Foles hit the game-winning shot?
No, but Nick Foles. If Nick Foles was there, he would do the halftime thing where he's in the middle of the court. And he wins the car.
Yeah. Then crashes it because he sucks at his job.
Nothing but net, baby. God. Big Dick Nick. All right, Anthony's not here to bust on the Yankees, so we got to do it. Phils versus Yankees. Who do you got?
Well, Phils are up 1-0. Hoskins just hit a home run.
Oh, wow. Look at that. The Yankees suck. Isn't that something? Breaking news.
It's in the Bronx. 2-game series in the Bronx.
Listen, I think AJ needs to I think he needs to seriously talk to somebody because he's angry. He's a little angry.
He is angry.
Is that why he's not here?
Well,
he never tells me if he's going to be here or not. He just shows up
because he's scared. He realizes the Yankees are trash. That's what it is. And he
Phillies 2.5 out. Big series. What? Yankees are a big series? No, the Braves this week are the bigger series. Yeah.
Oh, we suck. Can I stop it? Just stop. The Braves are terrible.
Yeah, I know, but every time the Phillies play these terrible teams, they lose, and then they beat teams like the Red Sox.
Well, listen. I know.
We swept the Yankees earlier, and I believe we're going to sweep them again this weekend.
I hope so. But the Marlins, they took 2 out of 3 of the Marlins. The Marlins seem to have their number all the time. Not this year so far.
Well, I think the bigger question with the Yankees is, do they trade? Do they stay pat?
Buy or sell. There you go. Buy or sell. Should the Yankees buy or sell?
I think they should. Well, they can't sell because what the fuck are they selling? Like,
Stan's contract.
You can't sell Stan. You owe him $1 billion for him to play DH because he sucks in the outfield. He's apparently old.
But they don't want him to trip in the outfield, get hurt.
You're not trading Garrett Cole. You're not going to trade Aaron Judge because every Yankee fan would riot.
Would riot, right.
You can't trade Gleyber Torres because you couldn't get 50 cents on the dollar for him.
All right. Same question for the Phillies. Buy or sell, cuz.
They have to buy.
You have to buy. You know, listen, both Yankees
got to go all in on this season. This team's a couple players away from a contender. I don't buy it.
Well, I mean, the division's up for grabs, Alan. I mean, even
with the Mets. The Mets are hurt. If the Mets weren't hurt, if Lindor wasn't hurt, if DeGrom wasn't hurt, I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
I think we need to have a conversation. What's going on with DeGrom? Because
what did she say? Hey, I think we should humor Phil's wife and talk about the Saints. How do you think the Saints are going to be this year, there, Harry?
Is that the one
The Saints suck. They lost Drew Brees. No, she's trying to interrupt me. I hit the mic because she does a podcast too on YouTube.
She's doing a podcast?
Well, yeah, some kind of. She's a moderator. She doesn't really get on panels.
He loves coming to talk to.
And I go in, I talk to her while she's trying to work, and she's trying to do the same thing back to me.
She's razzing you right now. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, she's
all right.
Is that Alan? How you doing, Alan?
How you doing, Mindy? How are you?
How you doing, Mindy? How are you?
Is it hot down there?
Oh,
is it as hot as it is up here? God.
High 90s.
I live in Pennsylvania, not Louisiana. What the hell?
Now, get back to it. Philadelphia, they're going to be buyers.
You think? And what do they need? They need a starter,
relief pitching. They need
a closer.
No,
I mean, who are they buying? And
listen,
who's out there?
Greg Kimball. You get him, you put him in the bullpen. Suarez can go back up to the 4th or 5th. Ranger Suarez, who's a better starter than he is a bullpen, and he's been doing really good in the bullpen.
I call him Rico Suarez, but Ranger Suarez is who you're talking about.
Yeah,
he's not a closer, but he had a couple good games, and he thought, oh man, we got a closer. It's not Hector Neris, and then he blew that one game on Saturday, and now he sucks again. It was one game. Give the kid a shot.
You know what's, to me, it's a little crazy, but I expect it. The Cubs are about to trade everybody and their mother.
They're selling.
I mean, Chris Bryant, Baez, Kimball.
They're rebuilding. So what teams are going to take advantage of that and get some of these guys?
I think the Mets are going to get
Mets
Chris
have the money.
Chris
They're
Bryant.
going to get Chris Bryant. I think the Red Sox are apparently going after Kimbrel. But you know what? If you're a Met fan, you got to feel good because you have an owner that has more money than he knows what to do with.
Yeah,
and spend it.
And he wants a title now for all his teams. He wants it now.
Well, they're hurting right now. DeGrom's on the DL. What's his name? Just went on.
Lindor.
You got
so Chris Bryant would be a really good
Syndergaard. But that division's up for grabs. I mean, it's sad. My Braves suck. We can win that damn division. It could happen.
Right. I mean, you can go on streaks. The Phillies can go on a losing streak. The Mets can go on a losing streak. I mean, shit happens in that division. But, I mean, if you look around the league, things are starting to, the top teams, other than that division, the top teams are starting to separate themselves a little bit.
Harry, you're a Braves fan. How do you get rid of Bryce Ball for Jock Peterson?
Well, because you have Freddie Freeman. You only get rid of Bryce Ball if you're gonna think you're gonna re-sign Freeman.
Well, their problem is Acuna.
You know what the Braves' problem is, honestly, and I this is not an excuse. This is honest. There's a lot of injuries in key places, like starting pitching.
Yeah.
And we're young. Last year shouldn't have happened. I'll be the first one to admit it. We're young as shit. But you know what? With Acuna and Albies and Soroka and you still have Freeman, who's a leader. I'm not going to say we're going to win the World Series soon, but I mean, we're going to be a contender.
Yeah, that catcher in the minors.
And the only reason you get rid of Ball is Freddie Freeman is still contributing at a high level.
Both wild cards coming out of the West, absolutely. Whoever's left standing between the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Giants, those other two teams will be your wild card.
And Isn't that a surprise? The Giants. We're talking about the Giants.
Gabe Cattler. Your boy. That's your boy, Phil.
Listen, they're going to come back down. It's a matter of time for the Giants to come back down.
I keep hearing this. They just keep winning.
Yeah. No, but you know what, though, Alan? It's all right. Maybe it might not be the regular season, but they're going to
say postseason when it matters, they're going to die?
Dude, I looked at their roster. I know 2 people, and one of them is Buster Posey. Like, I don't know anybody else on that team. Like,
Right.
look at Russ. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
I think the bigger question, and I want to pose it to both you guys, when do you say Bryce Harper needs to go? Like, when is there the Bryce Harper needs to just be go? Like, he needs to just be traded.
They signed him for 13 years. So
I mean,
Listen, Bryce
that's not
Harper's
gonna. They're not gonna trade
doing
him.
that
He's
bad
gonna
this
give you
year.
30 home runs and 90 RBIs. What's happened with the Phillies has nothing to do with Bryce Harper.
yeah, but
Nothing.
when you
It's
pay
that
someone that kind of
bullpen.
money, you're satisfied with
So
30
what do you
home
want?
runs?
Yes. What do you want? You want 60 home runs and 120 RBIs?
Listen,
I'm
satisfied.
I would like 40 to 45 and 120. Yeah.
Listen,
You
I'm
don't do that in today's
satisfied.
league anymore.
Yes, you
Nobody's
do.
doing
satisfied
steroids.
Everybody
with
hits
his
home runs. That's all they
contract.
care about is home runs.
45. Who hits 45 a year
Most
on a regular basis?
players that get paid that kind of money.
No, Machado
No.
ain't.
There's like 3 guys
Mookie
in the
Betts
league that
ain't.
do that.
Cody Bellinger ain't. Yelich ain't. Listen, I'm good with paying him that amount of money. Better than what what's his name? Ozuna got in Atlanta and beating his, whatever. Fucking Stanton in New York. Stanton in New York.
Yeah, Stanton's overpaid.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
Okay. I mean, he's batting 286 this year with 15 home runs. I'm okay
Who makes
with
the second
that.
half run to the playoffs? Always happens.
I mean,
He asked this. Phil, you weren't here. He asked this last week, and I pissed Anthony off to no avail when I said Philadelphia.
Well, Philadelphia's playing great right now.
I'll tell you who it's
13-2.
not. It's not the Yankees. The Yankees are not making
it. Won't be the Yankees. But Chris wants you to say it's the Yankees.
I think if Toronto could get their pitching and their bullpen problem, because they lead the league in batting. Like, that lineup is phenomenal. But their pitching and their bullpen,
Bichette Jr.
Man, they're giving up too many
Chris
runs
says
late
Cardinals.
in the game. I don't see that. I don't see Cardinals.
Either he's saying he's a Cardinals fan, or he's saying the Cardinals are going to make the run. I don't know which.
No. Goldschmidt ain't playing like he used to.
Rendon?
Arenado ain't Rendon. Like, Rendon's an Angels, ain't he?
Is he? I don't know. I get them mixed up.
He don't even play that good either this year. He's batting like 217. But I'm saying, like,
I'll say the Padres. Padres, I think, can make a run.
The Padres are there and they're ready. The Padres are talking about.
I mean, look what they did to
I just read that they're
week.
interested in. Oh man, they went to that. They had a representative. Cole Hamels is trying to come back, and Cole Hamels is from. Listen, and Cole Hamels is 37. He's coming. He's from the San Diego area originally, and there was like 4 teams that showed up. Phillies were one of them. But there was like 4 teams that showed up to his little workout that he showed, and he looked really good. And San Diego wants him as like a 4th or 5th starter.
Let me tell you about Cole Hamels, because I had him last year. No, don't do it.
For 3 innings? A third of an inning?
Phil, if you're the Phillies, do you pick him up? He's better than Vinny Velasquez or more, isn't he?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I would have until I saw Moore's stats. Moore was horrible the first game, but his last 3 starts have been phenomenal. That's what we were looking for.
What about Vinny Vila?
Vinny Vila, man, like, he's hit and miss. Some days he'll go out and pitch 5 great innings. Next day
Even Wheeler looks like shit lately.
Like,
luckily the bats have come alive.
It's the whole. I don't know, man. If you could get him cheap, I'd go for it. But if you can't, I'd rather have bullpen help than anything.
Yes.
And
a
Kennedy,
closer. A solid closer.
Kimbrel.
Why not a closer? Can we get a closer that actually works every time? I mean, not Mariano Rivera.
Like,
how about you get Aroldis Chapman? I hear he might be available.
We don't want no Yankees. That's a head case.
You don't want Chapman? No.
No.
Still 1-0 Phillies in the bottom of the 3rd. All right, we're gonna get out of here, guys. You got anything else before we leave?
Yankees suck.
Did you hear that, AJ?
Listen,
Yankees.
Just remember, in AJ's defense,
What?
They've won 1 billion championships that he will hang on to, just like he hangs on to the Giant Super Bowls. So it's going to be okay. It doesn't matter that they get their payroll is like
Just
$300
like the
million.
Cowboys fans talk about their 5 championships.
Yes,
in the
they
90s.
do. Yeah. But we don't
Yeah,
we don't
still
wish
in the
injuries
90s.
on quarterbacks. Okay, we don't wish
Cardinals
injuries.
win the division. You heard it here first.
I don't see him catching Milwaukee.
They're going to win the Central, he says.
Now they better start making moves. They 8 games
I
back.
think Chris needs to put some money where his mouth is because I would have.
Well, I know for a fact that Chris does well with betting. So, like some of the time, sometimes he's outlandish with his, but those outlandish predictions usually bank the most money. No,
they do,
No,
but
not with Milwaukee.
what if you put the money on the Cardinals right now to win it all, win the World Series this year? How much is it? What's the odds on that, Chris? You would know.
You lose money.
I think that you know what the real question with baseball is
Yeah.
is are the Dodgers going to be the Dodgers or are they going to win? Because like that's the standard. No, are the Dodgers not the standard? Like
They are, but the thing is, they seem to be like that team that is a favorite to win the National League every year, but then they don't necessarily win titles. I mean, they have recently, but I'm just saying.
all right, so who is your American League team you think that you can honestly like say with conviction that could win it all?
The Red Sox.
You think so? I don't think so.
I'm not a fan.
Sox.
Just trust me, I'm not a fan. But the Red Sox, White Sox, one of them.
I mean, I can't say with conviction any American League
We
team.
predicted to win division beginning of the year. Teams make runs in the second half. Yes.
Yeah, well,
if you put money on it, brother, for your sake, I hope you're right.
beginning of the year, the Giants were supposed to be terrible. So,
And look at them. Correct. Yeah. All right, we're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for everybody chiming in. Thank you for Chris Pant. As always, man, you made the show with all your comments. That was great. I want to remind everybody that this Saturday, there is no Around the Turnbuckle. Legends of Hamburg Professional Wrestling Fan Fest Saturday, July 24th. Get your tickets and information at www.legendsofhamburg.com. I will be there with the professor. We will be there doing live interviews with fans. We'll be there with selling some merchandise. The wife's made some water bottles, Harry, and some coffee mugs and T-shirts and stuff like that. So we're going to be selling merchandise there. So come see us. Hamburg, Pennsylvania, from 10 o'clock in the morning till 4. It's like Comic-Con for wrestling nuts. So if you love professional wrestling and you're in the Pennsylvania area, come see me. Also, this Sunday on Around the Turnbuckle, we are going to have ECW original Ian Rotten. You heard me right. ECW original Ian Rotten will be on Around the Turnbuckle this Sunday at 6 o'clock. I'm jazzed for that because Ian's going to be talking.
What happened to Axel Rotten?
Well, you can ask him that. Ian is on to promote his event out in Indiana. They have the Deathmatch Tournament. It's an annual event that they have out there. And some of the best around the country, deathmatch guys, hardcore guys, show up there, and they have a tournament to see who the best of the best is as far as death matches are concerned. And he will be on this Sunday with the only female participant in that event. That would be Rebecca Payne. So this Sunday, we have Ian Rotten, we have Rebecca Payne, so tune in for that. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Saturday. You guys any parting words there, cuz? Nothing for Anthony? Anthony's going to be watching this thing,
Yeah, I mean, he's it's a hit and miss with me and him can't get on to the same.
Love and hugs to Shango, my brother. Love you.
Anthony needs a hug.
His mother.
Someone needs to hug Anthony. It's gonna be a tough second half for him.
I missed.
I mean, Phil.
You know what I missed? I missed Harry versus Anthony tonight. That's what I missed.
Yeah, Anthony.
Have a good night, Big Chris. Enjoy Game 6.
You gotta untuck his tail. He'll be fine.
Go Phillies!
Tied 1-1.
Oh man, you had to say that, right?
I see you shiver with anticipation.